Okay, welcome, Julian.
Hi.
And Matt is ill. Okay, let's stand for pledge allegiance. Call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So a roll call, Lynn, I assume you're doing that too?
You want me to?
Okay.
Corey Poe,
Here.
Larry Daring,
Here.
Tom Hilbert,
Here.
Linda Polly, here, Norm Foley,
Here.
Matt Rodisi,
Verdosi, he's
Verdosi.
excused and I think he's on line, but he is excused, he's ill.
okay, and Michelle Woodruff. Here.
Okay, public participation rules. 1, please wait for the chair to acknowledge you before you speak. 2, begin by stating your name and address. 3, give comments, opinions, or questions on the issue being discussed. 4, to ensure that everyone has time to speak and that we can address other items on the agenda, we may limit an individual speaking time to 5 minutes. If time permits, we may allow you one additional time period to provide new information. 5, please be respectful of the planning commission applicant and your neighbors. Again, thank you for attending. Tom Hilberg, Chair. Okay, adoption of agenda. We didn't do that yet, right?
No, we didn't.
I'll make a motion with
Larry, Norm. We can do that by voice vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval of minutes, February 14th, 2022.
I move to approve.
I'll support.
I'm not absolutely sure when we need roll, but I don't think we need roll, but just voice vote on.
In this commission, out barring any expense, it would be upon approval of any principal project or scope on the. That's when you'd have.
Okay.
Vote that would have
A case for approval, okay. All right, they'll do this by voice vote. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, public comment. If anybody has any public comment, just in general, I'm sorry, I'm speaking to the audience online too. If you have any public comment in general, or we'd probably rather that if you're going to comment on the case, do it during the case, but it's up to you. Okay. Correspondence. We have a report from on case 02-2022 from Rick Duell, and we have a letter from the Alpena County Planning Commission.
Make a motion we file and receive. I'll support.
Larry supports. Voice vote, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. We will go to new business. Case number P02-22. Alpena Retail North LLC requests a site review for a commercial development consisting of a retail store. Property is located at 1040 South Bagley Street, parcel number 012-029-000-016-05 in the Community Business B3 Zone District. Do we have a representative from the for the permit online, or I'm assuming you're not? No.
I hope not. No.
Can everybody hear me online to start with?
Yep, we sure can. This is Vladimir with DA Contracting. We have our engineer Greg with the sign who is online with us.
Okay. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it, or do you have any comments, or?
No, Mike is online. Mike Curse also, who's the developer. He's
Okay.
online with us as well. Mike, I'm assuming we don't have any comments. We're just gonna answer the engineer questions.
Correct. Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good evening, thank you.
Chris, are you online with us?
I am.
Oh, okay, good.
You want me to go ahead and address the couple of items on here?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Good evening. This is Chris Jankovich, Design Engineers, 2183 Plus Drive, Brighton, Michigan. Had a chance to go through the site plan review report here today, and just kind of gonna jump ahead to some of the items that are listed as outstanding. Looking at item 2C for vehicular and pedestrian circulation, we have provided on-site pedestrian circulation. However, there are no sidewalks existing along Bagley Street or the service drive for us to provide connection to, so we have not provided any connection because there's nothing to connect to. Looking at item 7 for snow storage, our intent was to utilize the detention basin for snow storage. We also have the lawn area between the loading zone and the detention basin that's available, as well as the 3 parking spaces on the far east end that are furthest from the entrance. So that is our intended snow storage area. Item H for parking and circulation. There's a statement that 146 parking spaces are required. However, that calculation is based on the gross floor area. So the 22,365 square feet, that is our gross floor area. Our usable floor area, once we eliminate storage, restrooms, utilities, we've estimated at 70%. So that brings us to 15,656 square feet of actual usable floor area, which then would only require 104 spaces. So we are only requesting a reduction of 4 spaces from 104 required to 100 proposed. We do have the 30 bicycle spaces that would count towards 3 parking spaces. So we're really only short by 1 parking space, going from 104 to 103. In regards to item I for landscaping, the first comment there of a 10-foot setback for landscaping from the parking lot, it is not feasible to provide that on this site and maintain the parking that we're proposing. We would have to significantly reduce parking. We do have at least 10 foot of green space between the parking and the service drive, the Meyer parking area, and the bank parking area. So if we look at that, we do have in excess of 10 foot of green space. It's just not all on the subject property. For the actual landscaping area, we have just over 38,000 square foot of bituminous pavement, and we would be required 3,811 square foot of interior landscaping. Again, due to site constraints, this is a very tight site. We weren't able to provide all of that within the parking lot. We do have 6 islands in the parking lot that do come to a total of 1,205 square feet. The remainder of the landscaping we placed around the perimeter at each of the corner peninsula islands. We have 4 at the main parking area and then 3 on the east. Those provide a combined area of 2,722 square feet, which gives us a total of 3,927, which is 10.3% of the parking area. So those are the only items I see that were in question. I'd be happy to answer any other questions about those items.
And I guess the our reviewer did not have the up-to-date or revised ordinance. So item 9, section 325 parking and circulation, item 9 has been removed from our ordinance. So, and our reviewer didn't have the most current. So that section 325 A9, reduction of parking spaces and land banking. Well, there is not a section 325 A9 anymore. So that's, and I replied to you, Lynn, on that, you know, so that was, I'll take the blame, but from now on, we're going to blame you, okay? But anyway, he should just get a, just include him on the email of that. That's all. Okay. Yes.
Is there any places on these plans where there is a sidewalk or a place for people to go from the credit union to Walgreens to Meijer without walking in the street?
There's no sidewalk.
Pardon?
There's no sidewalk.
That's why I'm asking. There's no sidewalk. So these people have to use the road.
They may not have heard the question.
Was my question heard about sidewalks or sidewalk?
Mike, are you, did you hear that?
Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Chris, did you hear the question asked?
No, I'm sorry, I did not hear the question.
Sidewalks in front was one of the questions that was just asked.
That's
We are not proposing a sidewalk in front. That is an existing detention basin. We are going to modify that basin, but we were not proposing a sidewalk as there's no sidewalk to connect to. It would be very difficult to place a sidewalk there and maintain the detention basin volume that we've proposed.
my question was, there isn't, but could anything be done about folks that wanted to walk to the drugstore, or wanted to walk to Meijer, or wanted to walk to the credit union? Is there any way they could do it other than walking the road?
Chris, with where the basin sits, I don't know that it's even possible, is it?
I don't believe it's, well, again, it's not really feasible to place a sidewalk there. Now, could they walk on the lawn area? Sure. But it would be extremely difficult to design a sidewalk that was ADA compliant along that area. without further reducing the basin volume. Likely, it would have to be right up along the edge of curb in order for it to even be a possibility.
Okay, and I guess we do need a motion to include the finding of facts in the permit.
So moved.
I got one step ahead, but. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I have one question. I don't know who knows the answer, but who actually owns or the access road that the driveways would come off of this one? Who owns that road?
That service drive,
Yes,
that is, oh, let me double check here.
Chris, I know it's part of the REA.
Yeah.
Who's the actual physical owner of it? Do we know?
The physical owner is Goodwill Company, which is Meyer.
Oh, and then a question follow up on that is Meyer is okay with this, I assume.
Correct.
Yeah.
Chair, if I may.
Go ahead. Yes.
Another moving part of this topic of conversation is, especially with the utility easements. I've already been working with, I believe, Matt, as my contact person through the developer, as to the water and sewer connections. And those are also going to be coming off of, and designs have already gone through engineering with F&B, our contractor. So we're just waiting on approval of their sewer position, and then that contract is moving forward as well. So that ball's in play concurrent to this topic of discussion.
Thank you. And then one more question that, you know, I'm sure you did this, but excuse me if it sounds like a dumb question. You've taken care of all the any permit or anything you need from Meyer to use that road, I assume.
Correct. Yes, we have.
Okay.
Actually, Walgreens had more say so than Meyer did, believe it or not. But yes, it is a good question.
Stormwater has also been addressed appropriately with all the conglomerates of businesses as well.
Okay, well, that's good.
That's why there's such a focus on stormwater basin, is because it's not just that site, it's used continually with Culver's, Meyer, and Walgreens. So that capacity meets the standards. That's also capacity to the city stormwater.
Okay. See, we don't know any of that stuff, but I mean, we assumed it probably was, but. Okay, we'll just quickly go through these finding of facts. Property located at 141040 South Bagley, Zone B3 retail store permit. Gives the dimensions, site plan review criteria. Okay, ingress, egress. A 24 and a 29-foot drive will be used for trucks, semi-trucks, but pedestrian traffic is described below. And right or wrong, we never did require any of the other businesses in that area to do sidewalks. So I guess that the fact that we did not is not that we were not going to change our not going to require it of this business. Okay, section B, satisfactory and harmonious harmonious relationships between development on site and existing prospective development of contiguous land and adjacent neighbors shall be assured. And this property is located on a commercial corridor on Bagley Street. The proposed development is considered within the existing development. Yes, that's good. Vehicular and pedestrian circulation shall be well defined. And that, again, we did not, I guess, well, I would say that's not applicable in this situation. American with disabilities, section D. I guess that there is adequate handicap parking spaces. Meets ADA requirements, yes. Utilities and drainage, the sewage disposal, water supply, stormwater drainage, fire protection, other utility provision shall be safe and adequate. And Nathan, as Nathan just stated, the permit is in the works for sewer, water, fire protection is taken care of. The stormwater has been agreed to. They're going to use a similar, the same detention basin that and it is large enough to handle the 10-year storm. Okay, adjacent uses. I won't read that. They have, I mean, the adjacent uses are basically what this store is that meets. This store shall not be an objectionable to adjacent nearby property owners by reasons of traffic noise, vibration, dust, fumes, odor, fire hazard, glare, flashing lights, disposal or waste, sewage, erosion, pollution, or negative effects upon significant environmental features. Property that's located in a B3 zone, that standard is met. The use shall not discourage or hinder appropriate development and use of adjacent properties. The standard has been met. Emergency vehicle access has been met. Preservation of natural landscape. Basically there's a few trees and some grass, so that will have been met. So snow storage, that was my question too before, and I thought you were probably going to plow to the east towards the detention area and store snow. Landscaping, grass, shrubs, and other vegetation is provided to maintain and improve aesthetic quality and site area. Landscaping plan. There's not a lot of room on this site for landscaping, but you will do a small amount in the islands and adjacent green areas. So that outside storage. Okay, outside storage areas, including areas for storage of trash, will face or are visible from residential districts or use in public right of way shall be screened. I'm assuming there is a fence around the dumpster. It's about the only outside storage to be done. Okay. Section D, performance standards, smoke, dust, drift, and blown materials, open storage, glare, radioactive materials, fire, explosive hazards, odors, gases, electrical disturbance, electromagnet or radio frequency interference, vibration, noise will not be a problem. This standard has been met. Environmental, section E, section 314, storm water and runoff has been met. Section 319, outdoor lighting. Outdoor lighting is provided. Okay, landscaping and buffering. Landscape plan will detail information on plant types and for as much as we can provide that standard has been met. Okay, parking and circulation. I guess my only question is, yes, you're one spot short. So does that require a zoning board of appeals?
No, but they could actually put in a fourth bike rack to meet the requirements. They would be willing to do that.
Okay, or else I drew on there an extra spot they could have at the, if they really wanted to, they could have an extra spot on the, it'd be in the northwest corner. They could fit one more spot in there if they really had to. So I think that's no, it shouldn't be. But you know, if we don't meet the if we're not meeting the standards, then we have to go to the, you know, they have to ask for a variance. And I really don't want them to have to ask for a variance because yes.
That's the ordinance. I see 30 people ride their bike to Marshall's. Yes. They might, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, then 9, section 325A9 that's been eliminated. Okay, the bike substitution off-street parking areas with 25 or more automobile parking spaces, bicycle parking spaces in the form of bicycle racks and other bicycle parking structures may be substituted for automobile parking spaces at the rate of 10 bikes per one space. Off-street parking space with maximum of 10 automobile spaces replaced bicycle parking. Parking lot design does not provide for minimum number of vehicles parking spaces as required by section 325. And we're saying that we can provide a few extra, we will provide a few extra bike parking facility opportunities, and so then we will meet the 101. Yeah, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of picky, but you know, I mean, if we're not meeting the standard where it's only by one, you know, you should have 101 spots and you've only counted for 100. But like Kevin was, our building person was saying, if you provide a few more bike parking opportunities, then we can scratch that one parking spot we're short and we'll be good. Because, you know, if you're one spot short or if you're 25 spots short, it should go to the zoning board of appeals for a variance, and we don't really think you want to do that.
Understood.
Yeah.
Chris, we got that?
So you're gonna do whatever you can to make it 101.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, we can do that.
And Kevin's gonna keep a close eye on that, so. Okay, and then you explain the Part I parking lot landscaping standards, section 325. Section B, there shall be a minimum of landscape setback of 10 feet between the nearest point of off-street parking area. The site plan shows a setback of less than 10 feet on the north, south, and west side of the parking lot. Parking areas totaling 76 or more spaces shall provide a minimum of 10%. Interior landscaping may be transferred to the perimeter of the lots if the interior landscaping is not possible. It was not possible to determine if the standard is met. The applicant will need to provide information and it will need to be discussed with the planning commission at the planning commission meeting. So then explain that to me again, Mike, about that, how you came up with 3,927 square feet.
So this is actually Chris.
Okay, okay.
We have 4 main islands in the west parking lot. And then we have another island at the northwest corner of the building. And we have a small island at the northeast corner of the building. So those are our 6 interior landscape islands, which total 1,205. We then have the 4 corners of the western parking lot where the trees are proposed. Each of those corners would count as a landscape bed with the trees in it. We have a landscape islands on either side of the 3 parking spaces on the far east end, and then one on the west side of that entrance, that eastern entrance. So if we take those areas and which the exterior areas add to 22 square foot, all of that combined comes to 3,927. That does not include the foundation plantings along the north side of the building. Since those are on the outside of the sidewalk, I didn't count those, but we have that landscaping as well.
Okay, so you met your 10%. Okay. All right. I got it now. Thank you. Yes, okay. Applicant has provided details on signage. The height of business sign is 20 feet and the size is 100 square feet. I assume that is my math. Right, Kevin? Okay, okay. Okay, K, the number of parking spots. I'm on K now, considerations, number of parking spots do not meet the minimum required section 325. And we said, no, yes, they do now. Okay, the location is snow storage. Explain that it's going to be stored to the east. Okay, the applicant will need to provide calculations and details that show section 325B4 interior landscaping standards are met, and he just did that. Pedestrian circulation wasn't defined on site plan. And because we have not required pedestrian circulation on the road would have to be used. Not required on other businesses in this area. Even credit union doesn't have any. Is credit union in the city or township?
Township.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, maybe we should just make all you guys.
You just hold your horses. We got bigger plans than the sidewalk.
Okay, anybody, I've just been kind of, if you guys have questions, you should just chime in. I was kind of, okay.
Okay, you're right.
Matt, you good? He probably fell asleep. He's sick.
There he is.
All-
Okay, so I believe we're to the point of,
I'm happy to make the motion on number 2 with the condition of the additional parking spot or the bike rack.
Support.
Okay, any further discussion? Michelle, I made the motion to approve the site plan property located at 1040 South Bagley Street, Alpena, and it gives parcel number based on findings of fact and analysis of site plan criteria. And with the, say that again.
With the condition of either one additional full car parking spot or an additional bike rack.
Okay, got that one?
Yeah.
Okay. And Corey, second. Any further discussion? Okay, this will have a voice vote now.
Okay, Corey,
Aye.
Mary,
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Lynn? Yes. Nora?
Yes.
And Michelle? Yep.
Okay, you are approved. I will sign the permit, and you guys, when the next time you're in here, you can see Lynn, and she will have you guys sign for the record. And
I'd just like to say one thing, Tom. Thanks, gentlemen, for bringing your project to Alpena. We look forward to seeing it.
Thank you for all the help.
When do you break ground? Let's get the important questions out of the way. When can
I
we
knew
expect to
that
have
was
it?
coming. I knew that was coming. I knew that one was coming. Matt, what are you thinking?
When it thaws out.
There's the answer.
When it thaws out, okay.
Oh.
So next Tuesday, sweet.
As soon as possible.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
And we're, I'm also on the Board of Education, so I don't know if you guys are the developers for all these or
We are.
you are. Okay, so you guys had some kind of a meeting today, and I didn't really hear what went on, but I will hear. So hopefully that can happen also. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
I
You have,
just
go.
asked some questions.
Yes.
Nathan briefly mentioned this about this letter from the Alpena, the county planning.
Oh,
commission.
yes, yes.
So we literally, did this went to the township trustees on, was that at the meeting on the 28th?
This has not gone to the township.
This has
trustees.
not, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it hasn't gone. No, it hasn't gone that yet, because we had to go to the planning commission, county planning.
I
commission
read
first.
that. And it's,
So the township board has not received this yet.
Okay,
yeah, Norm and I attended the county planning commission meeting, and they did not support our ordinance for medical and recreational marijuana.
so is this dead?
No,
No.
they're only they concur. Sounding board, yeah, they concur or not, but they're not the absolute authority. They're not the authority on that. And the lady, the Montiel, I believe Birmingham was there from the city. And I asked her, did they run theirs through the county planning commission? And she said, no, they do not do that. So they're, we do as
Courtesy.
a courtesy to them, but they're not the final. And we're not the final. Our board of trustees is the final.
And
So, yeah.
that's what I know. I guess my thing is, my question came up of, well, if they're not the final authority, why did they, and now they don't even want to accept us amending the ordinance, like, they're just like, no. Is
Yes.
that the message that I'm
Yes,
receiving?
yes,
Am I
yeah,
receiving that
yeah.
correctly?
And not everybody was there, but I don't know that the other two that weren't there, I don't know if they would, I don't know. Obviously, don't know what their vote would have been either, but but they were firm on
Okay, so
so
we appreciate their feedback.
well, and yeah, and.
Great, thank you.
And then, I don't know, 12 years or whatever I've been on here, that's the first time they have not.
Oh, that doesn't,
Yeah.
didn't surprise me
Yeah.
one bit, but, okay.
But thank you for asking. Anybody else? Oh.
I sent an email out asking about what time people would prefer meeting at. And it's usually been 7 o'clock, but some people expressed an interest in a 6 o'clock meeting. I would express an interest in a 6 o'clock meeting for myself because I live so far out in the country. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense for me to be at home. So I don't know what other people, I didn't get a response from everyone, so.
I responded 7 o'clock, but I said I can make 6 o'clock work, so I'm not really, it was a soft 7 o'clock.
And Norm, you said 6, right?
I'd prefer 6, but I'll do 7.
Okay, so Michelle said 6 too.
I'll do 6. 7 works good for me, but I can also make 6 work too, so
Okay.
6 is fine.
And I think if the board is the ones that actually have to, they'll approve that, so the schedule will be presented to the board at the budget meeting or hearing on March 28th, they're the ones that make the decision, so.
The
If you guys are-
Board of Trustees, you're saying,
Yeah, the board
okay,
of trustees,
okay.
yeah, they'll actually approve the schedule for it, and then that'll be set for the year, unless you guys change it, you know, like say, okay, we don't want 6 to 6, yeah, you could change it.
I think it's not very easy to change.
I meant like we did a special meeting or something.
Yeah, special meetings
Yeah.
that you can change.
But
but
other than that. it would
Those
be just
dates,
set at 6 then.
The times and dates are.
Yes. And the special meetings we had this year, we started at 6
Yeah.
o'clock,
Yeah,
yes.
because we could.
Yeah, workshops, yes.
Okay.
And I think we have not had, I think we're, it's time that at our next meeting, we will do a election of officers and
Did we do
so,
that in January?
I thought we did.
did we do that?
Yeah, because I wasn't here and now I'm vice chair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Don't show.
No, you weren't here.
Yeah.
You were
Keep pushing my buttons.
You were voluntold.
I was voluntold. Yep, yep. Yeah, so we're good there.
And Lynn's gonna be here doing the secretary, otherwise, you know, who's gonna get nominated to be secretary.
Corey?
Yeah, sorry. I see the
Corey?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't say you.
Love to
You
take
just are
notes.
shaking your head. Okay, anything else? All right. We're adjourned.